Hi everyone, it's Carol here, the founder of the Sleep Success Academy. I wonder if this sounds like you. Like you might be so ready for bed, you're tired, you're exhausted. You crawl into your bed and you just lay there awake. You can't fall asleep. No matter what you do, you count sheeps, you do the deep breathing, you do all these exercises, and nothing is actually helping you fall asleep. I've been there. I struggled with sleep for many years in the past. But what I do know now is that I look what if that happens to me, because it still does once in a while where I have a hard time falling asleep. I look at these five things first. So that's what I wanted to share with you today is what are the top five reasons I see that people struggle with falling asleep quickly, and hopefully provide you with a quick tip on each of those on how you can change something into your life to then create better sleep for yourself. Because sometimes a small change can actually create a big impact on our sleep. So, reason number one is that we have an overstimulated nervous system. There's so much education these days on the health or the state of our nervous system, and there's a lot of like hacks on your vagus nerve and all these things. There's an abundance of information on the nervous system. But what I want to say is that I'm fully aware that if I have an overstimulating day, that I don't do enough rest or enough self-care, and I go without really checking in with myself, like without drinking enough water or eating properly, and I'm just always hyped up. When I go to bed, if my nervous system is still in this overstimulated state, it's going to be harder for me to fall asleep because our nervous system does not want us to fall asleep if we're overstimulated, because it's thinking there's some kind of threat or something's happening that I need to be aware and on guard for. Therefore, it's not going to let me fall asleep. So, knowing this, what can I do to help build resiliency in my nervous system and your nervous system so that sleep becomes easier? One of the techniques that I love to use and I teach in my program is called external orienting tapping. I will link a video down below in the description so you can just grab a copy of this video and follow along. But basically, what we're doing is we're tapping. So if you don't know what tapping is, we just tap on the endpoints of the meridian in our body, and it allows actually a signal to go from the amygdala, the emotional center of the brain, down to the body to like cease the cortisol, like stop the adrenaline, and it brings a calming effect. I pair that with orienting, which is actually looking around the room. You can do by what do you see, what do you smell, feeling your sheets on your bed, or doing this during the day so that we build that resiliency in our nervous system so that it can actually, like, even if we're overstimulated, we can come down faster, therefore create better sleep for ourselves. So I hope that makes sense. You check out that video. Let me know if you've tried it before and how it works for you. The second reason that I see that people tend to have a hard time going to sleep is because they're overthinking. So, overthinking on many things. There's not one specific thing that they're overthinking about, but they're just overthinking in general. That could be people that worry about being late the next day, or they worry that they don't have enough things put together. I've had clients who overthink their bedtime routine because they're like, I have to do this, then this, then this. And then if I do it all in order, then I'm going to be able to go to sleep. But the minute something goes out of whack in their bedtime routine, then they start overthinking, oh my God, I didn't do my bedtime routine properly. And then they end up not being able to fall asleep quickly because they're constantly overthinking. So, how do we deal with the overthinking? In the Better Sleep community, we follow this four-step process to transform our thoughts. I also have a YouTube video that I will also link down below in the description so that you can go through this four-step process. So, what am I overthinking about? And how can I help myself change that thoughts? Because the overthinking stimulates our nervous system, which then doesn't allow us to fall asleep quickly. But that's reason number two, people are overthinking. The third reason I see that people struggle with falling asleep quickly is that sleep schedule is out of sync, out of whack, because they're not consistent. So our body really works on the body clock, the schedule. So the more consistent we are, the more our body knows when to, I'm going to say, drop the melatonin, right? Like we create melatonin on our own in our body, but our body needs to know when to actually let go of that melatonin so that we can get sleepy. And when we're out of whack and our schedule doesn't match what we want to happen. So if, say, I always go, so I'll use myself as an example. I go to bed from like at 9 p.m. and I sleep till 5:30. Like that's kind of like I play between 9 and 10 and like 5 and 6, right? So I play in there. So my body is very used to knowing that around 8 o'clock, I start getting sleepy. I know it's getting close to bedtime. I'm quiet. Usually by then, I'm either knitting or watching a calming show with my husband. We like to watch a little bit of TV, and that's okay in the evening because it's my calming activity. And because I'm such on a schedule that it doesn't overstimulate my nervous system. I'm not overthinking about not doing it right. And then my schedule is pretty consistent. Therefore, my body knows when to actually drop that melatonin to make me fall asleep on time. So a lot of people, so I often talk about I have a video too, I think called Sunday Night Anxiety. I'll link that one as well. We talk about even just the weekend of staying up later and sleeping in later can actually mess up your schedule so that come Sunday night, you're laying in bed trying to go to sleep, but you haven't built enough sleep drive yet. You haven't had enough hours awake yet. And so falling asleep is actually harder on Sunday night for the people who do that because their sleep schedule is out of sync. So the more consistent you are, the better chance you will have at falling asleep quickly when you go to bed. So check out that video and let me know what you think. The fourth reason is that we aren't aware of stimulants that we've taken during a day. So whether it be a can of Red Bull, whether it be too much coffee, whether it be chocolate or something that we've had that had a stimulant in it. Interesting fact about coffee, just caffeine. So caffeine, the half-life of coffee stays in your brain, in your body for 8 hours after you've consumed that cup of coffee. So if you're someone who is more sensitive to caffeine, because there's different level of sensitive to caffeine. Some people can drink a cup of coffee right before bed and still fall asleep quickly. And other people, like for myself, anything afternoon, if I drink coffee in the afternoon, I'm not going to fall asleep that night. I'm going to have a harder time because I'm more sensitive to caffeine. Therefore, just sometimes not recognizing like, oh man, I did go to a late lunch or I something and I had a substance that then is a stimulant and is stopping me from sleeping. So if you're having a hard time falling asleep because you've had coffee too late, just know that there's really not much you can do about it at that time because it's already too late. It's in your system. Just how can you not do that the next day? And I always make a joke, you can't tap because I love tapping. You can't tap the caffeine out of your brain. By this time, you just have to have acceptance that that's what you did. And maybe you get out of bed and read a book or watch a calming show or do something while you wait for the caffeine to actually leave your body. And the last reason that I often see people struggling with falling asleep quickly is that their environment is not sleep friendly. And so it was hard for me to fall asleep because sleeping next to him, he would fall asleep quickly. And then I would be listening to the snoring, getting frustrated, feeling resentful. And so my sleep environment wasn't sleep friendly. My bedroom wasn't sleep friendly. And we have made the decision about 6 years, 7 years ago to sleep in separate bedrooms. And both of our sleeps has improved so much. And what that has done is that we are friendlier to each other because we're not so sleep deprived. And it's actually improved the quality of our relationship, believe it or not. For me, my bedroom wasn't sleep friendly. But what else could a bedroom be not sleep friendly in a way? Like if you have animals in your room, as much as sometimes we want to cuddle with our animals, they can disrupt our sleep. If our bedroom is cluttered, that can actually create anxiety. If I walk into my bedroom to go to sleep, and as I walk in, there's like laundry all over my bed, or my bed isn't made, that can overstimulate my nervous system, which we're back to reason number one that we're not sleeping. This non-sleep friendly environment in the bedroom that I'm in creates then overstimulation in the nervous system. So, just a quick recap of the 5 reasons why I find that people have a hard time falling asleep is one, that overstimulated nervous system. Then we look at the fact that we're overthinking a lot. And then having an inconsistent sleep schedule would be reason number three. Then we look at the hidden stimulants that we have in our system. Like we might have had that coffee without, maybe we asked for decaf at a restaurant and they gave us actually caffeinated coffee without us knowing. And the last one is that our environment is not really conducive to falling asleep quickly because either a snoring partner or clutter in the bedroom. So I know that was long-winded. It feels like this video was long-winded for me, but those are the reasons that I see. And my intention with sharing these is I wonder if you can make one small change or look at this and then just gather some information of what might be in the way of you falling asleep quickly. And as always, you can always reach out to me at my email, support@sleepsuccessacademy.com. I'd love to hear from you and see which one of these reasons actually gets in the way of your sleep. And at the same time, go visit my website if you wanted to get my free guide, 5 action steps to improve the quality of your sleep. It's on the homepage. You can just put your name and email address there, and a copy of the free guide will be delivered to your inbox. That's it for today, and I hope to see you again next week in my next video.